Professor Dave again. Let's conjugate stare.
He knows a lot about all kinds of stuff. Professor Dave explains.
As we said, there are 4 irregular verbs for the first conjugation. We learned about andare, so now let's try stare. This means to be. Now, you might wonder how this can be the case, since essere also means to be. These verbs mean to be in different ways. Essere has a more permanent meaning, so this would be used when describing aspects of your identity that do not change. If you were born of Italian descent, you must be Italian. That will always be the case, no matter what. Stare has a more temporary connotation. You can feel sick, but once you rest a bit, you won't be sick anymore. So we would use stare to describe these kinds of states. The conjugation of stare isn't too difficult. Io sto. Tu stai. This is the irregular one, since we have used AI instead of just I. Lei sta. Noi stiamo. Voi state. Loro stanno. This one is also a little different in that we have added 2 N's instead of 1. So that's all there is to the conjugation. Now let's make sure we understand exactly when to use stare and when to use essere. As we said, essere describes permanent states and will be followed by an adjective or noun. Io sono italiano. Marcello è un avvocato. It's true that Marcello could change professions, but grammatically speaking, Italians pretend that this never happens, and in fact, for them, it rarely does. Stare, once again, indicates a temporary state. Come stai? Sto benissimo, grazie. In that moment, you are doing very well, but who knows what could happen later. Just to show you what not to do, the following sentences would be incorrect. You wouldn't say, io sto italiano. You're either Italian forever or you're not. And you wouldn't ask, come sei. That would be too permanent to make any sense. The main uses for stare are as follows. First, it can describe a temporary physical condition. Oggi sto male. It can refer to someone who remains in a particular place. Noi andiamo al cinema, ma la mamma sta a casa. Notice the 2 different verbs in this sentence and try to understand the context for their usage. As always, there are some idiomatic expressions that use stare. Stare zitto means to be quiet. If you want to yell at some noisy people during a movie, you could say, state zitti. Stare calmo, stare fermo, and stare sveglio represent similar states of action or inaction. A particular form of stare, followed by per, followed by an infinitive, means to be about to. Non posso uscire, sto per pranzare. Stare can also mean to fit. Ci stiamo tutti nella tua macchina? There are a few other less common idioms, as well as some grammatical variances for stare that we may come across later. For now, let's check comprehension. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.